Hi, good to see you again. In this video, I would like to give you an overview of how you can develop your critical thinking skills. So let's start with a definition of critical thinking. Critical thinking is an objective analysis and evaluation of a particular topic. It should start with curiosity, and as such is the process of asking questions and gathering information, challenging your assumptions, accepting that you're probably going to be wrong at least 50% of the time, putting aside your own subjectivity and biases, beliefs, feelings and preferences, focusing on factual information, evaluating the information and being open to new learnings, allowing new understandings to arise with no specific outcome or conclusion in mind, and being slow to form a belief. And even when a belief is formed, being aware that as you gather more information, that this belief may have to be replaced with a new one. So, how do different personality types approach critical thinking? Now, you may have noticed that some people are more open to new ideas and are willing to ask questions and pursue a process of inquiry, and yet others, for example, act as if they already know the truth and are absolutely closed to new information. I don't have an explanation for that, though it could be related to the Myers-Briggs personality type and the dominant cognitive function. Perceiving functions are how you gather information, either through intuition or sensing. Judging functions are how you make a decision, either from facts, logic, or feelings. Those who lead with a judging function may have already formed an opinion and thus be closed to new information, while those who lead with a perceiving function may be more open to new information, though I have no actual evidence for that idea. Now, a fun fact to keep in mind, though, is that the left prefrontal lobe manages the judging functions, while the right prefrontal lobe manages the perceiving functions. Now, critical thinking ability may also correlate with the use of the left brain or the right brain. Now, Ian McGilchrist, the Scottish neuroscientist and author of The Master and His Emissary, is quoted as saying that the left brain has an extraordinary capacity for denial, which means that those people who have a preference for using left brain functions may be more closed to new information. Academics and bureaucrats tend to be more left brain dominant, hence the term left brain bureaucrat. Now, Jonathan Haidt, the American social psychologist and author of The Righteous Mind, Why Good People Are Divided by Race and Religion, has observed that liberals and conservatives do not view the world through the same moral values, and in fact noticed that conservatives have a broader set of values than liberals. Now, none of what I just said may make sense to you, but don't worry, because my intention is not to judge people, but to invite you to look for patterns in behaviour. That is all. And now a quick look at NLP metaprograms. Metaprograms are perceptual filters that generally operate out of conscious awareness. They filter perception and determine your preferences in how you think, feel and act. For example, negative versus positive. Are you focusing on the negative or focusing on the positive? Are you looking for what is wrong or how something could be improved? And then the global details. Are you a big picture person or you focus in on the tiny details? And do you have the ability to abstract up and down? Then there's the decision process. So do you make decisions based on facts and logic or how you feel about something? And just as an aside, if you make a decision based upon feelings, how do you sort your feelings? Okay, now we get into self and other. Is your attention on self or is your attention on the other? Now, this is also an aspect of narcissism. And then the sameness difference metaprogram. So are you sorting for information that is the same and matches your understanding, or sorting for information that is different? Are you agreeable or disagreeable? And in which contexts, and why. Then we get to the authority sort, which is the frame of reference used in making a decision. So are you the authority, or is someone else the authority? Do you go to the effort to get a second opinion, or do you already know the truth? The ideal authority sort is an internal reference with an external check. And then there's black and white thinking. Are you thinking in terms of either or and? So are you thinking in terms of absolutes, or are you more of a relativist and looking for shades of grey and nuances? And then there's the discounting meta program. So do you notice what is in the foreground or the background? So are you discounting and minimizing information because it doesn't fit your narrative, or do you count and acknowledge all sources of information? And then there's the convincer strategy. So how do you know something to be true? Are you easily convinced, or do you always hold some doubt? And at what point do you know something to be true? And even so, are you still willing to hold a conversation and gather more information? So how do you do the process of critical thinking? So step one, it starts with meta-stating and having functional frames of mind. So curiosity and fascination are useful frames of mind that would allow you to focus in as a dispassionate observer and gather information without forming any conclusions. So what other frames of mind do you think would be useful? Playfulness, perhaps? Step two, challenge your assumptions. Now, we all make the mistake at some time of trusting the media, the government, and the experts, and assuming they have our best interest at heart, or what they are saying is based upon truth. But what you will find is that a lot of the time, your assumptions will be wrong. So what is the solution? The solution is to make it a habit to challenge your assumptions at the outset and learn to ask questions. And you can do this by playing the NLP Matchbox game, also known as the NLP Peace Mapping game. Step three, the map is not the territory. So understand that you don't operate on the world directly, but that you take in information through your sense organs, and using the three universal modern processes of distortion, generalization, and deletion, you form an internal representation, a map, in your mind, in pictures, sounds, feelings, tastes, and smells. The maps that we make in our minds are not the world itself, but an internal representation of it. Now, Alfred Korzybski, founder of General Semantics, coined the phrase, "The map is not the territory." It's important to understand that everyone's map is impoverished to some degree, and that there is always something new to be learned. Step four, hierarchy of ideas. So it's a really good idea to imagine that you had this massive grid structure in your mind and then sort all the knowledge that you have into that structure according to the logical level and the logical type, keeping in mind the concept of time. And step five, the NLP meta model. So the NLP meta model is a linguistic tool that sorts the verbal and written language that we use into three categories comprising 10 language patterns, and then gives you questions to challenge the statements to gather high quality information and bring people out of trance. For example, the cat sat on the mat presupposes that there is such a thing as a cat and a mat, and that a cat can do the process of sitting. Now this might look simple, but if you were to challenge every presupposition that you hear today, you will be blown away with the information that you gather. and I encourage everyone to learn the NLP meta model. It could take a lot of practice, but it's going to be well worth the effort. Trust me on that one. Step 6, the NLP peace mapping model. So the NLP peace mapping model brings together the most important parts of the NLP communication model and gives you an amazing set of tools to critically analyze just about anything. The NLP peace mapping model also unleashes the full potential of the NLP meta model. And to acknowledge the fact that you have watched through to the end, I would like to offer you a big discount on the NLP peace mapping course. The details are below the video. Please take a look. And if you would like to collaborate with me in some way or another to wake up the sheep, then please leave a comment below or contact me from my website to set up a chat on Skype or Zoom. Now, one of the things that you could do is make it a habit to teach people the NLP Matchbox game. And the second is to introduce them to the NLP meta model and form practice groups with your friends. If you're interested, you can also find me on Facebook. I have a personal page and a business page. And if you have not done so, please give the video a like, subscribe, and share the video with your friends on social media. And also please take a moment to leave a comment below. All the best to you, and I look forward to seeing you again.